Episode of the Everblack podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup.
Hey, this is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack podcast.
Hey, human skull, this is Odorous from Guam.
Going to Battle Fear Factory.
This is George Corsh from Under Fisher.
This is Gas from Devil Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Mike Nick from Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13.
This is
Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gary Lee from Sepultura. You're listening to Everblack podcast.
Monica, thank you so much for joining us on the show again. It's been a little while. How are you down there in Melbourne?
So right now, things are happening down in Melbourne. It feels like everyone is just, after last year, everyone is just kind of ready to unleash. And, speaking of unleashing, like my band has a gig in a week and a half with Red Hook and Fangs, who I've been friends with for many years, like the better part of a decade, I would say, since we were youngins. And we haven't played a show. The Last Martyr hasn't played a show since December 2019, which coincidentally was with Fangs as well when they came down with Bare Bones. So it's so funny because our last show was with Fangs and now our first show back is with Fangs. And our first show ever was also with Fangs and Red Hook. So I don't know, we're just going to party. Like we've been training behind the scenes for like 2 months to prepare for live shows, and we've got a bunch of live shows to announce. So I don't know, it feels good. The vibe in Melbourne's really good. There's a lot of gigs happening.
That is awesome. And it's, I believe, was it the first show sold out and there's a second one? Are they back to back?
They are back to back, which I've never done before. So there's a 6:30 session and then there's also a 9:30 session. So we're going to be opening both shows. So yeah, I've got to find that balance of conserving my voice in between times, because I know I'm just going to want to get off stage and talk to everyone. And then just finding the energy to kind of do it all again. I mean, they're going to be short sets, so I think that we're going to be fine. But the 9:30's sold out. The 6:30, that's like selling really fast. There's only a few tickets left, so I'm really excited. That is super exciting. We did a double show like that with Dark Cell last year, and I had the same sort of. I was like, I don't know how I haven't done a back-to-back thing like that before. And I found by the second set, I was so warmed up, and I was like that. You know that GIF? There's that little girl, and she's eating the fairy floss, and she's all like, "Oh, hi." Yeah. That was me. And you know what? I reckon you'll have the same thing. You'll just be like ready to tear people in half. It's going to be the best. Yeah. I mean, it's like the adrenaline that you get when you come off stage, and usually, I mean, it kicks in as soon as you get on, but sometimes it takes a few songs to really kind of get into the zone. And then we're going to have all this adrenaline coming off stage as you do. So it's like now doing another set, kind of like starting from level 10. Like, I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm hoping that someone films it. Actually, we are getting someone to film it. So Excellent. We'll see.
Excellent.
It could go really well or really bad, but I don't know. It'll be interesting, I think.
Mate, I think it's going to be awesome. I wish I could be there. That's for sure. But mate, this new single, Hindsight, what a banger, mate. That opening riff, it's just so huge, and I'm liking the darker direction too. It's where's it coming from? Obviously, with everything going on, but I do believe that it was written before everything happened.
Yeah, so this song was written in December of 2019, and it was one of the first contributions that Ricky, our new bassist, actually made to the group. And he brings, I mean, we're all into like a lot of different type of music, but he came in with like a very strong like nu metal influence in his writing, and we already had electronic stuff, but he has kind of like a different electronic influence. He comes from like more of like the rave world, I suppose. So I don't know, he came in, I mean, this song isn't necessarily reflective of the electronic stuff, but he really cool to kind of like that be the first song that he came in and contributed to, and then we kind of fleshed it out and built it out around there, and worked with the producer Chris Lalic from Windwaker on that as well. And yeah, like in terms of like lyrics, I had a lot of like pent up aggression that I needed to get out, I think, at the time. And there's this one scream that I do in the breakdown, which you would have heard, and that came about because I was mucking around with the boys like in the rehearsal room, and I just like yelled at one of them playfully, and all of a sudden Chris turned around and was like, "That scream, you're doing it in the song." So it's technically like really incorrect, but I've since learned how to do it on stage and not completely blow out my vocals. So yeah, it's so funny reflecting on that, because it feels like yesterday, but it was also ages ago, and it's like really good to just finally get this song out.
Where did you find Ricky?
So he's part of like the family, I suppose. So, you know, in the scene you have like brother sister bands that you have been friends with, you know, just talking about before, like Fangs and Red Hook. I've known them for so long, and you know, you have these like special relationships with musicians that aren't necessarily in your band. And I mean, I'm fairly new to Melbourne, but the other boys have known Ricky for many, many years. So when it was time to, you know, to pass on the torch, Maddie, our old bass player, I recall him saying like he's so happy for us that we were like keeping it in the family, so to speak. Yeah, we like the guys just like knew him from the scene. I'd been friends with him just through the guys. And so it was just, I don't know, it was absolutely seamless.
It really seems like everything that's happening with the band, it's a big significant change and a new beginning. You feeling that? Like it's you can't put it into words really. Hey,
yeah, it is a new beginning. I mean, as someone like personally that's been working towards music for 15 years, this is like the project that I guess I've been waiting for a really long time. I mean, I kicked some like real cool goals with my previous band, and I've been in like many, many bands over my lifetime, but this is kind of the one that I really feel like we've got the formula right. And I don't know, it's just we're all like really on the same page, and it feels really nice. And I think that the music that we're creating is something special, and it's exactly what I want to create. It's heavy, it's melodic, you know, there's, you know, screams, and, you know, there's like a lot of variance in the style of vocals that I'm doing. And with this EP that's coming out, which Hindsight's, you know, the first single off, there's a lot of stuff that we're doing that really, really pushes us past what we've ever done before. So I think that, I don't know, it's just a body of work that I'm really proud of, and I'm really proud of where we're at. And it's like literally only just beginning. I'm like really stoked to release the video next week. And yeah.
May 5th, right?
Yes,
yeah.
That is. Yeah.
Yeah. Lock it in. You know, no spoilers. I've seen it. It's fucking cool. You know what I mean? I don't want to, it's without spoiling it for anyone out there, but how would you, how'd you come up with the concept? When was it filmed? Was it filmed last?
Yeah. So the video was actually filmed in February, and, why again, like you can see I'm like so like jacked up and excited to release it, is this video was like rescheduled 5 times in 2020. So we were actually about to film the video the weekend that everything shut down in Melbourne. We probably still could have technically filmed it, but at that time when coronavirus was happening, there was a lot of uncertainty, and like we weren't sure of the rules. So we were like, okay, things are just too crazy. Let's just not do it. So we rescheduled it throughout last year, and finally did it in Feb. And we worked with two guys. Kian who's based in Melbourne shot the video, and Dave from Her Name Is Murder Productions edited the video. So
shout out to Dave.
Shout out. Yeah. So I mean, we've worked with Dave a ton of times before. I've worked with him personally a ton of times before in different projects. And he is really good at like creating this universe and this abstractness that we wanted to create. And he's also super influenced by nu metal. So, you know, with that now influencing our sound, and, you know, he's really good at the dark stuff as well, which like for us, the darker, the better. So he was really the perfect fit for this particular video. And it's pretty fucking crazy. Like when we watched it back, like our reaction was just like, what the fuck? Like, what did we just watch? And actually we got him to like tone it down just slightly, not too much, but there was actually some elements that we actually ended up removing because it was just like, but I like videos like that. You kind of, you know, I guess like people see when it comes out. I love videos that you watch it multiple times and you'll see something different every time. So hopefully people like it.
I think they will. And that's why I don't really want to like say what's going, because I don't want it to be a surprise like you probably do. It's that cool. Like it's very different. It's very different. But talking about, you know, the darker side of things, you're talking about nu metal and a bit of a different direction. Have you drawn from newer influences or over the last, you know, 18 months, have you discovered different acts or vocalists that you've drawn from for this new beginning?
It's funny, like a lot of the stuff that ended up on the EP was reworked in the studio, or not necessarily reworked fully, but there was a lot of vocals that I ended up writing on the fly. And when you're in that position, you have to think really quickly because you're booked in for a certain amount of days and you don't want to blow it out. And it was a real test of like what I could do as a vocalist, like trying to just pump out lyrics, especially, which normally I spend like a lot of time on. And so I think like given everything happened, even though it happened slow over the course of the year, the actual recording was very fast. And so I think like in those moments, it's kind of like the culmination of like everything that's inspired me in my life. And then it just comes out as like this own weird melding pot of like what I do. So I don't think there's anything like specific that was influencing me. I mean, like I'm always influenced by, I don't know. I'm always influenced by, you know, Spirit Box would be a huge influence. I was going to say another main influence, which thou shalt not be named, which his initials are MM, which was an influence, but now he's been cancelled, so we can't say his name.
Eminem.
No, not Eminem. The other Eminem. Let's say he doesn't sing about ugly people.
Okay. I know. I know that you know that they know that we know that yeah.
Exactly.
But look, I will say I had that thought too. I was like, musically, he played such an important part of the last 20 years for me. You know, and it's that separating the artist from the art, and that can be so difficult and it's hard to listen to. Hey, now it is really hard to, I find it really hard to listen to. I thought I'd give it a go. I just can't. Hey.
I mean, it's like, you know, this is a totally different scenario, but I couldn't listen to Linkin Park for a really long time after Chester passed away because it was just too sad for me. But yeah, I haven't listened to Manson since all of that happened because I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you can separate the person from the art. I don't know if I could ever listen to the art without thinking about the person. And essentially, like, we're all just like one and the same. Like, I always think that like as an artist, like you are the art. Like everything comes out of here, and that's why you got to take care of your mind and your body because that's what's influencing what you create. So it's like what you create's just, I don't know, very all like octopus arms of like who you are.
Absolutely. No, and it's I've racked my brain for many hours thinking about that. Hey,
yeah.
Like, you know, talking about your show that's coming up, you're playing with, of course, Red Hook. That's next week, isn't it? It's coming up real quick. In regards to that, I think you and Emmy are just absolutely incredible at what you both do. Have you ever combined the forces together, like on a song or jam together live?
We have jammed together. we've done a couple of little things. I mean, we'll definitely be getting up on stage together, I would say, at the North Kurt on the 8th. So yeah, we'll definitely jam on Bad Decisions, because I actually did some backing like gang vocals on Bad Decisions. So definitely have to sing that live. But you know, a long time ago, back when, you know, we were young and fresh and hanging out on the Central Coast, not that I'm even from there, but I used to trek up and hang out with, you know, her and the guys that were up there. They used to have this rehearsal room that was open like all hours, and they kind of could just rock up whenever. And yeah, like we would get drunk and do like medleys of 80s and 70s like rock songs. So we've definitely done quite a few drunken Central Coast rehearsal room medleys back in the day. We did do this like random Guns N' Roses tribute together as well when I first moved to Melbourne. I don't know I can't even remember what I sung. I can't even remember what she sung, but you know, it was a time that we could get up on stage and actually sing a tune together. But I don't know, that was a long time ago as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to jump up on stage with her on the 8th though.
Oh, damn it. I wish I was there. It's going to be such a cool show. I mean,
yeah,
you're doing guest vocals with another band. Did I see that?
Yeah, so I mean, this morning I did a little guesty recording sesh with Mikey from Gloom in the Corner. So I can't really say too much about that. It's all hush hush for their album that's coming out. But it won't be for a long time. That's, you know, it's still in the recording stage at the moment. So yeah, that was really nice that they asked me to play one of the characters in the Gloom universe. But I'm pretty sure that's all I can say for now.
Oh, that's all right. You're spilling the beans. That's. I can't wait to hear it. Are you doing any other guest stuff? Are you musically?
Not at this stage. Yeah, I'm just like, like whoever wants to throw a guest spot at me, I'm keen.
Yeah, and of course your pod is going off, mate. You've been doing that for a while too, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the podcast, Being in a Band, that has been around for nearly 2 years now. I haven't uploaded an episode this week, but normally there's episodes every single week, and it's a cool opportunity to not only speak to experts in the industry and, you know, for myself as well, learning about things like touring, because, you know, for those who don't know, I have like a media and digital marketing background. I now work for Maniacs magazine, which is part of Warner Music. And so I've had this background in like media and journalism, but there's so many sectors of the music industry that I still don't know about. I mean, I work at a label now, so I'm excited to learn more about that. But, you know, especially when it comes to like touring, and everyone has their own, you know, every manager has their own kind of formula for, you know, how they work with their artists and how they bring artists up. So it's a great opportunity for me to learn, but also share that knowledge with musicians who, you know, there's not many access points to that kind of knowledge. I went to music college and I came out of it with a severe hangover, not really that much information on how the music industry actually works. So that's really why I started it. And also it's a cool way for me to share my knowledge and for me to document my band's journey and share some of the mistakes and some of the wins. And yeah, it's been a really cool outlet, especially during COVID, like having a place to go where I could feel like I was talking to someone and kind of like venting my frustrations, which, you know, everyone was going through a similar thing at the time. So I definitely got a lot of feedback during that time, specifically about, you know, people relating to what I was going through. So I really enjoy the podcast.
You do a lot of stuff. You wear a lot of hats.
Everyone says that.
Yeah, I know. Everyone says that about me too. They're like, I don't know. You just got to go, man. Life don't wait. So
yeah, I mean, like I suppose it probably looks like I do, but like my mentors and whatnot they're more so like in the entrepreneurial space. They're all like digital marketers and coaches, like business coaches and stuff. So I watch what they do, and I'm not doing like half as much as what they're doing. So I don't know. I think but then I sometimes have to remember, you know, not to push myself too hard, because at the end of the day, like I know that I am putting a lot of like stuff out there, and I don't want to like burn myself out. So I don't know. It's this fine line. I'm pretty lazy though, to be fair. Like often I'm just working in bed, and you know, if I want to sleep in, I will. Like I work for myself like 100% of the time now. So yeah, I'm just like taking advantage of that.
I'm so stoked for you, mate. I know I said it before, but I really, you know, that's what everyone sort of strives towards. So I'm very stoked for you, my friend. You know, you're doing it. You're doing it. Yeah, man. It's awesome. It's inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good. So what else you got coming up? I mean, you said there may be some more shows.
Yes. So I can actually announce now that we're playing the Bones Queer Night at Stay Gold on the 21st of May. So that usually sells out. So if you want to come party, it's going to be like bands, DJs, like a whole bunch of cool stuff happening that night. And it usually goes off. So yeah, get your tickets. They've just been announced and everything. So that'll be happening then. We also have a show which hasn't been announced yet, but that'll be early June, which is going to be a pretty cool lineup. And yeah, we're hopefully going to be booking some interstate stuff for like July onwards. So hopefully coming up to Sydney in July, first and foremost, because that's my hometown, home state. So yeah, it's we just want to get like back out on stage. It's been far too long.
It has been. And what about us up here on the Goldie and Brizzo? What's happening there?
Well, I want to manifest playing big sound this year. Like I've wanted to play big sound since forever. And like, do you go to big sounds like when it happens?
Not usually. I follow it, but I don't ever get a chance to get up there. It's always
much too sensible for that. Because and it's just such a cool week. So I would really love to come up and play big sound and be on the band side of things, not the industry side of things. And so fingers crossed we can do that, because that's, you know, been one of my goals for the past few years.
That's awesome. That's so
good. That's usually in September. So yeah.
Hey, you got lots of time to plan. And lots to cram in. But mate, it's been awesome seeing you again and talking to you again. This is the first time where I can't remember the last time. But anyway, it's been awesome hanging out with you, my friend. Of course, the new single is out now. We'll have all the links down here for all the shows. Take care. Keep kicking ass. And we'll see you soon, I hope.
Thank you so much, Nav. I appreciate it.